Picture this, a ship, sturdy and proud, anchored in a harbor as a storm rages around it. The winds howl, the waves crash, and yet the vessel remains tethered to the shore, unmoving, refusing to set sail. You are that ship. Inside you, dreams burn like a lighthouse in the distance, calling you to chart a course toward greatness. But something holds you fast: fear, doubt, the heavy weight of inertia. It grips you, whispering that staying still is safer than facing the tempest. Why do you linger when the horizon beckons? This is the battle within, the internal war that keeps you from starting, from persisting, from achieving the goals that define your soul. Welcome to the first step of forcing yourself to achieve, confronting the chains that bind you. Let's face this storm together. Feel the pull of your potential. It's time to break free. Imagine yourself sitting at a worn wooden desk, a blank notebook staring back at you like a silent challenge. You've dreamed of writing a book for years, a story that pulses with life, a tale only you can tell. The idea haunts your quiet moments, whispering in the dead of night, begging to be born. But each time you reach for the pen, a cold wave of doubt crashes over you. What if the words don't come? What if they're not good enough? What if no one reads them? Your hand freezes, and the page remains empty. Days turn to weeks, weeks to months, and that dream, once a roaring fire, dims to a flickering ember. You tell yourself, tomorrow, I'll start tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. You are the ship in the harbor, anchored by invisible chains. The storm of self-doubt rages, and you convince yourself that staying still is safer than sailing into the unknown. You fear the waves of failure more than the ache of regret. But deep down, you know the truth. Every unwritten word is a brick in the wall between you and your destiny. The weight of inertia isn't just heavy, it's suffocating. It's not the lack of talent that stops you. It's the refusal to begin. Now imagine a shift. One day, trembling but resolute, you pick up the pen, you write a single, imperfect sentence. It's clumsy, raw, but it's yours. That sentence becomes a paragraph, then a page. The storm still rages, but you've raised the anchor just an inch. You've moved, and in that movement, you discover a truth. The act of starting, however small, shatters the illusion of impossibility. Like a ship cutting through the first wave, you realize the storm isn't your enemy. It's your proving ground. The lesson is clear. Inertia is a lie you tell yourself. Break its hold, and the journey begins. Now we see yourself standing at the edge of a track, sneakers laced, heart pounding with the dream of becoming an athlete. You've always pictured yourself crossing the finish line, sweat-drenched and victorious, the crowd's roar fueling your spirit. But as you stare at the endless laps ahead, a shadow creeps in. Fear of failure whispers. What if you're too slow? What if you collapse? What if you're laughed at? Your legs feel like lead before you've even taken a step. So you turn away. You skip training, day after day, telling yourself you're not ready. The gym remains empty, the track untouched. Your dream of strength fades into a distant memory, buried under excuses. Here you are again, that anchored ship, refusing to sail. The storm of fear batters you, and inertia becomes your false harbor. You think staying still protects you from embarrassment, from pain, but the real pain is in the mirror, staring at a version of yourself that could have been. Every missed run, every avoided effort, is a wave pushing you further from shore. You're not just avoiding failure, you're ensuring it. But what if you stepped onto that track just once? Picture this. You jog a single lap, breathless and unsteady, but alive. Your muscles burn, your chest heaves, but something ignites within you. A spark of defiance. You've moved. The anchor lifts, and though the storm of doubt still looms, you see it for what it is, a test, not a verdict. Each step forward teaches you that inertia isn't your master. It's a shadow that shrinks the moment you face it. The harbor isn't safety, it's stagnation. Sail out, and you'll find your strength in the struggle. Let's pause and look deeper. Why do you stay anchored when the open sea of possibility calls? The weight of inertia isn't a physical chain. It's a construct of your mind, forged from fear, doubt, and the seductive comfort of the familiar. It's the voice that says, not now, not yet, not you. It's the illusion that tomorrow will be easier, that waiting will somehow prepare you. But waiting is a thief. It steals your time, your momentum, your fire. How many dreams have you tethered to the shore, convincing yourself the storm is too fierce? How many goals have you abandoned before the first step? Think of inertia as a rusted anchor, dragging along the seabed of your soul. It's heavy, yes, but not immovable. Every time you hesitate, you let it sink deeper. Every time you choose stillness over struggle, you tighten its grip. But here's the unspoken truth. The storm you fear, the uncertainty, the risk, the chance of failure, isn't your destruction. It's your forge. A ship isn't built to rot in a harbor. It's crafted to withstand the gales, to carve a path through chaos. So are you. Your doubts are not anchors. They're illusions. Cut the rope. Let the winds of effort carry you forward. Consider this. What if the storm isn't your enemy, but your guide? When you stand frozen, paralyzed by the weight of inertia, you see only the crashing waves, the dark clouds of failure looming overhead. But look closer. That storm holds lessons no calm harbor can teach. It shows you the strength of your hull, the resilience of your spirit. It reveals what you're made of when you dare to sail into its heart. Why do you fear the tempest when it's the very force that shapes you? Think of your goals as distant shores, hidden beyond the horizon of your current self. Inertia tells you the journey is impossible, that the waves will swallow you whole. But every ship that ever reached new lands faced the same gales. Every dream realized was once a fragile hope, battered by doubt yet carried forward by will. The storm of struggle isn't a barrier, it's a rite of passage, like a blade tempered in fire. You emerge sharper, stronger, unyielding. So don't fear the wind, don't dread the rain. Let them teach you, let them push you, raise your sails, and trust that the storm is sculpting you into the person who can claim victory. Now let's turn philosophy into action. When inertia grips you, when the harbor feels safer than the sea, you need a plan to break free. First, shrink the mountain of your goal into a single pebble. Don't aim to write a book today, write one sentence. Don't vow to run a marathon, lace up and jog for 10 minutes. Start so small that inaction feels absurd. That first step, however tiny, is a crack in the wall of doubt. It's the first tug on the anchor. Second, confront the storm head-on by naming your fear. Write it down. I'm scared I'll fail. I'm scared I'm not enough. See it on paper, and it loses its shadowy power. Then I'm beside it. Write one reason to move anyway. I'll never know unless I try. This isn't about ignoring fear, it's about staring it down. You're not a ship hiding from the wind. You're a captain charting a course through it. Finally, set a timer. Give yourself 5 minutes to act, 5 minutes to write, to run, to begin. Inertia thrives on endless delay, but a ticking clock forces your hand. When the timer ends, you'll often find yourself wanting to continue. Momentum is a fire. That first spark ignites it. Try this today. Don't wait for courage. Force the first move, and courage will follow. Here's another tool to carry you forward. Create a ritual to signal action. Inertia loves chaos. The clutter of excuses and distractions. Counter it with structure. Choose a specific time each day, say 7 a.m., and a specific place, like your desk or the track. Show up there, no matter how you feel. Even if you do nothing, show up. This ritual becomes your sail, catching the wind of habit over time. Consistency cuts through inertia, like a ship slicing through still waters. Next, surround yourself with reminders of your why. Write your goal on a sticky note. I'm writing this book to share my story. Tape it where you'll see it. Let it be the lighthouse guiding you through the storm of doubt. When inertia pulls, that reminder pushes back. And lastly, celebrate the smallest wins. Finished a paragraph? A single lap? Mark it. Tell yourself, I did that. These micro victories are the gusts that propel you forward. Build your sails with intention, and the harbor won't hold you long. As we close this chapter of your journey, let's anchor the truth we've uncovered. The weight of inertia is real. It's the silent force that keeps you from starting, from persisting, from claiming the goals that burn within you. It's the harbor where dreams rust, the false safety of staying still. But you've seen now that the storm isn't your doom. It's your crucible. Through the stories of the writer who finally wrote and the athlete who finally ran, through reflections on the mind's change and the storm's lessons, you've learned that inaction is the true failure. The key takeaway is this: forcing yourself to achieve begins with forcing yourself to move. One step, one word, one lap. Each is a rebellion against stagnation. You are the ship, built for the open sea, not the shallow shore. The storm of struggle awaits, but so does the horizon of triumph. As we prepare to dive deeper in the next part of this journey, carry this with you. The anchor is heavy, but your will is stronger. Raise it, set sail, face the waves. Your destiny lies beyond the harbor. Cut the rope, sail into the storm. Your shore awaits. Picture a seed, buried deep beneath layers of hardened earth, trapped in darkness. It has no voice, no map, no guarantee of sunlight. Yet something within it stirs, an unseen force, a quiet pulse of life that refuses to stay still. It pushes, it strains, it cracks the unyielding ground above, driven by a purpose it cannot name. That seed is you. Right now, you stand at the edge of your own potential, buried under doubt, fear, or the weight of endless excuses. But deep inside, there's a flame waiting to ignite, a force that can shatter the barriers holding you back. In this journey to force yourself to achieve your goals, we're diving into the heart of what moves you, the emotional and mental triggers that awaken your resolve. This is about igniting your inner flame, about finding the spark that turns someday into today. Feel it now? That restlessness in your chest? That's your signal. Let's uncover what sets it ablaze. Imagine a single parent, Maria, sitting at a worn kitchen table late at night, bills stacked like a mountain before her. The clock ticks past midnight, and her child sleeps in the next room, unaware of the silent war waging in her heart. She's exhausted, working 2 jobs, barely scraping by, her dream of a college degree buried under years of not now. She could give up. She could let the weight of reality crush her. But as she glances at a photo of her child, something shifts. She sees her little one's future, dimmed by the same struggles she faces if she doesn't act. A fire ignites. That child's smile becomes her trigger, her unseen force. She remembers why she once wanted that degree, not just for herself, but to build a bridge to a better life for them both. Maria enrolls in night classes the next week. The road is brutal. Sleepless nights, endless assignments, moments of doubt so heavy they nearly break her. Yet each time she wavers, she recalls that photo, that future. Like a seed pushing through hardened earth, she presses on, driven by a purpose deeper than exhaustion. Years later, she stands at graduation, her child cheering in the crowd, and realizes the flame within her was always there. She just needed a reason to stoke it. Her lesson echoes for you. Your trigger might be a person, a memory, a vision of tomorrow. Find it. Let it push you through the impossible. Now picture a worker, Sam, trapped in the gray haze of monotony. Every day, he clocks into a job that drains him. Endless spreadsheets, fluorescent lights, a life on autopilot. He's forgotten what passion feels like. But one evening, cleaning out a dusty box in his garage, he stumbles upon an old sketchbook from his younger years, filled with designs for furniture he once dreamed of crafting. Each line on the page hums with a forgotten energy. He sits there, staring, as a wave of longing crashes over him. This is his trigger, the memory of a time when he created, not just existed. Sam starts small, dedicating an hour after work to sketch new ideas. The first weeks are clumsy. His hands aren't what they used to be. Doubt creeps in, whispering that he's too late, too rusty. But like a seed beneath the soil, something in him refuses to stay buried. He keeps going, fueled by the thrill of creation, the quiet joy of building something with his own hands. Months later, he launches a small side project, selling handmade pieces online. It's not about the money, it's about reclaiming a piece of himself. His story whispers to you, your trigger might be a forgotten passion, a spark from your past. Dig it up. Let it drive you through the crust of routine. Let's pause and look inward. What drives a seed to split the earth apart when it could stay dormant forever? It's not logic or reason. It's an unseen force, a primal urge to become more than it is. You carry that same force within you, a restless energy that hums beneath the surface of your everyday life. Too often, you ignore it, smothering it with excuses or distractions, but it's there, waiting for you to listen. Discovering your emotional and mental triggers isn't about inventing motivation. It's about unearthing what already burns inside. Maybe it's a memory of someone who believed in you. Maybe it's the sting of a failure you refuse to repeat. Whatever it is, it's your soil to break through. Ask yourself, what keeps you awake at night? Not with worry, but with longing? What thought, image, or feeling makes your heart race with purpose? That's your trigger. It's not a fleeting whim. It's a compass carved into your soul. Like the seed, you don't need permission to grow. You don't need the ground to soften. You need only to heed that inner pulse and push, the hardened earth of your fears and your doubts. Your not-yets will crack under the weight of your resolve. Trust that force. It's been with you all along. Think of your inner flame as a forge, not just a flicker. It's not there to warm you with comfort. It's there to shape you, to burn away the parts of you that no longer serve. When you uncover your emotional triggers, you're not just finding a reason to act, you're inviting transformation. That single parent, that worker, they didn't just move forward, they became something new. The seed doesn't emerge as it was. It rises as a sprout, reaching for a destiny it couldn't fathom underground. So it is with you. The triggers that push you into action are also the ones that redefine you. Have you ever considered what you're capable of becoming? Not just achieving a goal, but forging a stronger, bolder version of yourself in the process? The flame within hurts sometimes. It burns through complacency, through fear, through the temptation to settle. But that pain is your ally. It's the heat that tempers steel. When you feel it, don't shrink back. Lean into it. Let it melt away the doubts that weigh you down. Your triggers are the bellows, fanning that flame until it roars. Find them. Feed them. Let them remake you as you push through the earth of your own resistance. Let's get to work. Finding your emotional and mental triggers isn't a mystery. It's a deliberate act. Start tonight. Sit in a quiet space with a pen and paper. Close your eyes for a moment and ask, what moves me? Is it a vision of your future self, standing tall in a life you've built? Is it the thought of proving to someone or yourself that you can do this? Is it a memory of a time you felt truly alive? Write down the first image or feeling that surfaces. Don't overthink it. That's your seed, your starting point. Now, anchor it. If it's a person, keep a photo of them nearby. If it's a memory, write a sentence about it and pin it where you'll see it daily. When doubt or fatigue strikes, and it will, look at that anchor. Let it remind you why you started. Then take one small step forward, no matter how tired you are. Triggers aren't magic, they're fuel. You still have to move, but with that inner flame lit, each step feels less like a burden and more like a breakthrough. Push. The earth above you is already cracking. Once you've found your trigger, guard it fiercely. The world is full of winds that threaten to snuff out your flame, distractions, naysayers, even your own fleeting doubts. Build a shield around it. First, limit the noise. If social media or endless chatter pulls you away from your purpose, set boundaries. Give yourself an hour each day, free from screens, to reconnect with your why. Second, surround yourself with kindling, people, books, or ideas that stoke your drive. A single encouraging word from a friend can reignite you when you're faltering. Finally, act fast when you feel that spark. Don't let it fade into later. If your trigger inspires you to start a project, write the first line now. If it urges you to chase a goal, take the smallest step today. Momentum is the oxygen of your flame. Keep it burning by moving, even when the ground feels hard. You're not just a seed, you're a force. Protect that inner fire, and it will carry you through any barrier. You've walked with Maria and Sam, felt the stir of their triggers, and seen how an unseen force can push through the toughest earth. You've reflected on the flame within, a forge that transforms as much as it drives. And you've armed yourself with tools to uncover and protect that spark. The takeaway here is clear. Your emotional and mental triggers are the key to forcing yourself into action. The pulse that turns hesitation into movement. They're not distant or unreachable. They live in your memories, your visions, your deepest longings. Find them. Use them. Let them propel you upward, just as a seed defies the weight of the soil to reach the light. As you move forward, remember that this journey of forcing yourself to achieve your goals is not a sprint. It's a steady, relentless climb. The next step awaits, where we'll build on this flame to forge unshakable discipline. For now, hold tight to this truth. You are not meant to stay buried. Push through. Break free. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. Keep pushing. Your light is ready to shine. Picture this. A blacksmith stands before a roaring furnace, sweat dripping from his brow, hammer in hand. The iron before him is unyielding, stubborn, refusing to bend. Each strike sends sparks flying. Each blow echoes with defiance, yet he does not falter. This is you, right now, facing the fire of your challenges, the weight of setbacks threatening to break your will. In this crucible of effort, you are forging your future, one relentless strike at a time. Welcome to the heart of your journey to achieve your goals, where the flames of adversity test your resolve. This section, Forging Through the Fire, is about building strategies to sustain your effort when everything screams for you to stop. It's about recognizing that the heat, the resistance, isn't your enemy. It's the very force that shapes you. So, grip your hammer tight. Let's forge through the fire together and uncover the strength you didn't know you had. Imagine yourself as an entrepreneur with a vision so vivid it keeps you awake at night. You've poured your soul into a project, a small startup that could change lives. But the world doesn't see it yet. You've pitched to investors, sent countless emails, and faced rejection after rejection. Each no feels like a hammer blow to your spirit, denting your confidence. You sit at your desk late at night, staring at a list of names, each one crossed out with a red pen. The temptation to quit gnaws at you. Why keep going when no one believes in you? But then, you make a choice. You decide to schedule one more pitch each day, just one. It's a small act, almost insignificant against the mountain of refusals. Yet, each morning, you force yourself to pick up the phone, to send that email, to stand before another skeptic and speak your truth. Some days, the rejection stings worse than before. Other days, you get a flicker of interest, a raised eyebrow, a thoughtful nod. Weeks pass, and slowly, the iron of your resolve begins to take shape. One investor finally says yes, not because your idea changed overnight, but because you refused to stop hammering. You forged through the fire of rejection, striking again and again until the breakthrough came. The lesson here mirrors the blacksmith at his anvil. Your setbacks are not the end. They are the raw material of your success. Each rejection, each closed door, is a piece of iron that must be struck, heated, and shaped. The takeaway is clear. Sustained effort, even in small, deliberate steps, transforms resistance into results. You didn't win by accident. You won because you kept swinging. Now picture yourself as a student grappling with a subject that feels like a foreign language. Maybe it's advanced mathematics, or a dense history text, or a science concept that slips through your mind like water through open fingers. You sit at your desk, surrounded by textbooks and scribbled notes, frustration building with every wrong answer. Your classmates seem to grasp it effortlessly, while you're stuck, doubting if you're even capable. The urge to give up is a heavy weight. Why keep struggling when you could just accept defeat? But instead of surrendering, you commit to something small. 20 minutes of focused study each day. No grand promises, no overnight miracles, just a quiet, stubborn pledge to show up. You break the material into tiny pieces, tackling one problem, one paragraph at a time. Some days you make no progress, others, a single concept clicks into place. Weeks turn into months, and slowly, the fog begins to lift. You pass a test, not with flying colors, but with a hard-earned grade that feels like a mountain scaled. That subject, once a towering enemy, becomes a conquered foe, shaped by your relentless, daily strikes. Like the blacksmith hammering unyielding iron, your persistence forged understanding from confusion. Each small session was a blow against doubt. Each effort a spark that built your confidence. The lesson ties directly to our theme. Sustained effort, even in modest doses, creates mastery over time. You didn't just learn a subject. You learned the power of showing up day after day until the iron bent to your will. Let's pause and look deeper into the fire before you. Challenges and setbacks are not mere obstacles. They are the very flames that temper your strength. Think of yourself as that blacksmith, standing before an anvil, the heat of struggle surrounding you. Every missed opportunity, every failure, every moment of doubt is a piece of raw iron, unshaped, rough, and resistant. It's tempting to walk away, to seek cooler paths where the work is easier. But ask yourself this: how can you become unbreakable if you never face the fire? How can you forge a masterpiece if you fear the heat? The truth is, effort sustained through adversity is the only way to craft something enduring. Like iron, your goals resist at first. They push back. They defy you. They test your patience. But each strike of effort, each decision to keep going, reshapes them. The fire of rejection, the weight of failure, the ache of exhaustion. These are not punishments. They are your teachers, showing you where to strike harder, where to adjust your grip, where to endure. Embrace them. Let the sparks fly. They are proof that you are alive, that you are creating, that you are becoming. Consider a river carving through stone. It does not shatter the rock in a single day. It wears it down with ceaseless flow, with unwavering persistence. So too must you approach your goals. The fire will burn, the iron will resist, but your steady hand, your choice to keep hammering, will shape the outcome. What are you forging today? What piece of yourself are you tempering in this heat? Remember, the greatest blades are born in the fiercest flames. There's a rhythm to forging, a cadence to the blacksmith's work that mirrors your journey. Each strike of the hammer matters, not just the first, not just the last, but every single one in between. So it is with your efforts to achieve your goals. Every step, every small act of will carries weight. But how often do you discount the quiet moments of persistence? How many times have you told yourself that one more try won't matter? Step back and see the truth. There is no insignificant effort. Each time you force yourself to act, whether it's making one more call, studying one more page, or taking one more step toward your vision, you are adding to the force that shapes your destiny. The iron doesn't care if your arm is tired. It only yields to the cumulative power of your blows. Your setbacks are the same. They don't measure your worth by how you feel in the moment. They measure it by whether you swing again. Think of a towering cathedral, built stone by stone over decades. No single block seems to matter. Yet without each one, the structure would collapse. Your goals are your cathedral, and every day of sustained effort is a stone laid in place. The fire of challenge may scorch you. The weight of resistance may slow you, but it cannot stop you unless you let it. So, grip your hammer. Feel the weight of each strike. Know that every effort, no matter how small, is building something eternal. What will you build with today's blow? When the fire of setbacks blazes hottest, you need a strategy to keep striking. Here's a simple, powerful step. Commit to one daily action, no matter how small, that moves you toward your goal. Call it your daily strike. If you're an entrepreneur facing rejection, schedule one outreach, be it an email, a call, or a meeting. If you're a student wrestling with a tough subject, dedicate 15 focused minutes to it. The key isn't the size of the action, it's the consistency of the effort. Start by writing down this one task each morning. Make it specific. Today, I will email one potential client with my pitch. Place it where you can't ignore it, on your desk, on your phone, on a sticky note by your mirror. When doubt creeps in, when the weight of failure feels too heavy, look at that task and remind yourself, this is my strike. This is my blow against the iron. Completing it isn't just progress, it's proof that you're still in the fight. And when the day ends, reflect. Did you make your strike? If not, don't berate yourself, reset and commit again tomorrow. If you did feel the spark of that small victory, it's a reminder that you're forging ahead, even in the heat. Over time, these daily strikes build momentum. They turn raw resistance into shaped success. So when you choose your action now, what will your daily strike be today? When challenges strike, your instinct might be to retreat from the heat. But here's a strategy to sustain your effort. Reframe setbacks as part of the forging process. Instead of seeing rejection or failure as a dead end, view it as the fire that's tempering your resolve. This shift in perspective can transform how you face adversity. Start by pausing when a setback hits. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what is this teaching me? If an investor says no, consider what you can refine in your pitch. If a test score disappoints, identify where your understanding needs work. Write down one lesson from the experience. Keep a notebook for this if you can. Then ask, what is my next strike? Define one immediate action to keep moving forward, whether it's revising your approach or seeking feedback. This reframing turns the heat into a tool. It reminds you that every challenge is shaping you, just as the blacksmith's fire shapes the iron. When you feel the burn of failure, don't flinch. Lean into it. Say to yourself, this is my forge. This is where I grow. Over time, you'll find that setbacks lose their power to derail you. They become fuel for your next step. So, the next time the fire flares, don't run. Stand firm. What lesson will you forge from this heat? As we step away from the anvil for now, let's carry the heat of this truth with us. Forging through the fire of challenges and setbacks is not just possible, it's the only way to shape your goals into reality. You've seen it in the entrepreneur who scheduled one more pitch each day, in the student who committed to small, daily study sessions. You've felt it in the philosophical weight of each strike, in the practical strategies to sustain your effort. The key lesson, the takeaway of this journey, is that persistence through adversity transforms resistance into triumph. Like the blacksmith, you must strike again and again, even when the iron resists, even when the fire burns. Your goals are not handed to you, they are forged by your hand, tempered by your will. As we prepare to move forward, hold this image close. You, hammer raised, sparks flying, shaping the raw iron of your dreams. The next section will build on this foundation, guiding you to wield your effort with even greater precision. Until then, let this mantra be your rhythm, your heartbeat in the heat of struggle, Strike again. Your masterpiece is taking shape. Picture yourself at the base of a towering mountain, its peak shrouded in mist, the sheer cliff before you daring you to climb. Your hands tremble, not from the cold, but from the whisper of doubt that claws at your mind. You're not ready? You'll fall. Why even try? This is the summit within, the battle against self-sabotage, the war against the voices that urge you to turn back when the path grows steep. In the journey to force yourself to achieve your goals, this cliff is your proving ground. You're not just climbing rock and ice, you're scaling the barriers of your own hesitation, your own fear. Feel the weight of this moment. It's not the mountain that will break you. It's the choice to stop. But you won't stop. You can't, because deep inside, a fire burns. And with every grip, every step, you forge your strength. Let's climb together, you and I, and conquer the summit within. Imagine yourself in a dimly lit kitchen, the clock ticking past midnight. You've been disciplined for weeks, counting calories, choosing greens over grease, pushing your body toward a healthier version of yourself. But tonight, the fridge hums like a siren, and a slice of chocolate cake, left over from a friend's visit, beckons. Your stomach growls. Your mind races with justifications. One bite won't hurt. You've earned it. Tomorrow, you'll start again. This is the sheer cliff of self-sabotage, where the temptation to fall is stronger than the will to climb. You stand there, frozen, fingers twitching toward the door. Doubt creeps in like a shadow, reminding you of every past failure, every diet abandoned. But then you pause. You close your eyes and summon an image, a vision of yourself months from now, vibrant, strong, free from the weight that's held you down. You see the smile on your face, the ease in your step. That vision is your handhold on this cliff. It steadies you. You turn away from the fridge, grab a glass of water instead, and feel the quiet victory of this moment. It's not just about cake, it's about proving to yourself that you can choose the harder path. Like a mountain climber finding strength in each determined grip, you've clung to your resolve. The lesson is clear. Self-sabotage is a fleeting storm, but your vision of the summit, your goal, is the lighthouse guiding you through. Each small choice, each refusal to fall, builds the momentum you need to keep climbing. You didn't just resist temptation, you forged a stronger version of yourself in that midnight battle. Now picture yourself hunched over a desk, surrounded by crumpled papers, a half-finished manuscript glaring back at you. You're a writer, a painter, a creator of any kind, midway through a project that once set your soul ablaze. But now, doubt is a gale-force wind, threatening to blow you off your cliff. This isn't good enough. It howls, no one will care. You're wasting your time. Your fingers hover over the delete key, or your brush trembles above the canvas. Self-sabotage whispers that quitting is easier than facing the fear of failure. But you stop. You breathe. Instead of listening to the storm, you shift your focus to the process itself, the feel of the pen in your hand, the rhythm of words forming, the stroke of color blending. You remind yourself why you started, not for perfection, but for expression, for growth. You decide to write one more sentence, paint one more line. That single act is your grip on the cliff face. It anchors you. Hours pass, and though the doubt still lingers, it's quieter now. You've pushed forward, not because the work is flawless, but because you refuse to let fear dictate your path. Like a climber pressing on despite aching muscles, you've found strength in each small step. The lesson echoes. Doubt is not your truth. It's a test of your resolve. By focusing on the act of creating rather than the outcome, you maintain momentum. You're not just building a project, you're building unshakable grit. The summit within grows closer with every stroke, every word. Let's stand together on this jagged edge for a moment and look down. Below you, the abyss of self-sabotage yawns wide. Every excuse, every moment of weakness, every time you've chosen comfort over courage, It's a familiar drop, isn't it? How many times have you teetered here? One slip away from abandoning your goals. How many dreams have you left shattered at the bottom because doubt convinced you the climb wasn't worth it? But look up now. The summit within gleams, not as a distant fantasy, but as a promise. It's the version of you that emerges when you refuse to fall. Self-sabotage is not a flaw. It's a shadow cast by your own potential. It grows larger the closer you get to transformation, because change terrifies the part of you that craves safety. But you are not meant to cower. You are a climber, carved from the stone of resilience. Each time doubt grips your heart, see it as a test, a sheer cliff daring you to find your next hold. Your strength isn't in avoiding the struggle, it's in choosing to climb anyway. Think of a river cutting through a canyon, not with a single rush, but with relentless persistence. That's you. Every no to temptation, every push past fear, carves your path deeper toward the peak. So, stand firm. Feel the wind of doubt, but don't let it push you back. Your momentum is your power. Each grip, no matter how small, is a victory over the abyss. You're not just climbing a mountain, you're reshaping yourself into something unbreakable. Pause and feel your hands for a moment. Imagine them raw, aching, clinging to the cold, unyielding face of this inner cliff. Every muscle screams to let go, to slide back into the ease of inaction. But there's a fire in your grip, a burning resolve that refuses to release. This fire isn't born of anger or desperation. It's forged from purpose. It's the quiet truth that whispers, even in your darkest hour, you were made for this ascent. Doubt is a storm that rages on every climb. It pelts you with questions. What if you fail? What if you're not enough? But storms don't define the mountain, and doubt doesn't define you. Your strength does. Like a climber finding a hidden crevice to anchor their next step. You must seek the small truths that fuel your fire. Memories of past wins, the vision of your goal, the raw hunger to prove yourself. These are your handholds. They remind you that the summit isn't just a destination, it's a testament to every battle you've won against yourself. Ask yourself this: how long will you let doubt steal your momentum? How many more times will you stand at this cliff and turn away? The fire in your grip is your answer. It's the force that says, not today. You are not climbing for applause or ease. You're climbing to become. Let that fire burn brighter with every doubt you silence. Every step you take, the summit within awaits, and only you can claim it. When self-sabotage looms like a shadow over your climb, you need a tool to steady your grip. Here's a step to reclaim your momentum. Anchor yourself in vision. The moment doubt or temptation strikes, whether it's skipping a workout, abandoning a project, or indulging in a habit that derails you, stop. Close your eyes. Picture the person you're striving to become. See their confidence, their strength, the life they've built. Make it vivid. What are they wearing? How do they move? What do they feel? Let that image burn into your mind. Then, speak to yourself. Say, this choice right now decides if I reach that version of me. Write down one reason why that vision matters. Maybe it's for your health, your family, or simply to prove you can. Keep that note where you can see it. This isn't just daydreaming, it's a lifeline. When the cliff feels too steep, that vision is your next handhold. It pulls you up when your strength falters. Act on it. Choose the harder step, the one that aligns with your summit. Each time you do, you're not just resisting sabotage, you're building momentum that doubt can't touch. The sheer cliff of self-sabotage often feels insurmountable because you're staring at the entire mountain at once. The weight of your goal, losing 50 pounds, finishing a novel, starting a business, crushes you before you even start. Here's how to maintain momentum. Break the climb into steps. Focus on the next grip, not the peak. If doubt tells you to quit, don't argue with it. Instead, ask, what's one thing I can do right now to move forward? Make it small, almost insignificant. If you're a writer battling a blank page, commit to one sentence. If you're fighting the urge to skip a workout, promise yourself 5 minutes of movement. Set a timer if you must. These tiny actions are your footholds. They trick your mind into starting, and often, once you're in motion, momentum takes over. Track these wins, jot them in a notebook or app. Seeing proof of progress silences the voice of sabotage. You're not conquering the whole mountain today. You're mastering this one step, and step by step, the summit within comes into reach. You've stood with me on the sheer cliff of self-sabotage, felt the sting of doubt, and found the fire in your grip. We've climbed through the midnight temptations of a dieter and the inner storms of a creator, seen how each refusal to fall builds unshakable momentum. The summit within isn't a fantasy. It's the truth of who you can become when you force yourself to keep going. Remember this, the battle against self-sabotage is won not in grand gestures, but in quiet, determined choices. Every grip, every step, every not today to doubt is a brick in the fortress of your resolve. The key lesson rings clear. Takeaway, it's your anchor when the cliff feels too steep, your fire when the storm rages. As we prepare to move forward, carry this truth with you. The next stretch of the journey awaits, with new challenges and steeper paths. But you're ready. You've proven you can climb through doubt and sabotage. Keep your eyes on the summit, your hands steady, your heart fierce. The peak is closer than you think. Cling to your fire, grip by grip, the summit is yours. You stand at the edge of a vast new landscape, the horizon stretching endlessly before you. Can you feel it? The ground beneath your feet trembles with the echoes of every forced step, every moment you pushed when your body screamed to stop. This is no accident. You are here because you carved your path, like a river cutting through unyielding stone, relentless and unstoppable, until the world opened up to reveal this triumph. In the journey to achieve your goals, transformation isn't a gift, it's a conquest. You've forced yourself through the grind, through the doubt, through the weight of impossibility. Now, in this moment, you reflect on the power of that persistence and dare to envision the victory still ahead. Let the fire of your past struggles fuel your gaze forward. The horizon of triumph is not a dream, it's your next battlefield. Are you ready to claim it? Picture yourself trembling backstage, heart pounding like a drum of war. Your name is called, and the crowd waits, a sea of expectant eyes. Months ago, you couldn't string 2 sentences together without stumbling over your own fear. Public speaking was a monster, a shadow that loomed over every dream of inspiring others. But you forced yourself to face it, night after night. You stood in front of a mirror, voice cracking, practicing words that felt foreign on your tongue. You recorded yourself, cringed at the playback, and did it again. You joined groups, spoke to strangers, and endured the sting of awkward silences. Each step was a battle, each word a blow against the stone of your insecurity. Now, as you step onto the stage, something shifts. Your voice rises, steady and clear, cutting through the air like a river through rock. The audience leans in, captivated, as your story of struggle and grit unfolds. You speak of forcing yourself to keep going, of nights when giving up seemed sweeter than honey, but you didn't. And in that moment, as applause thunders around you, you realize the landscape has changed. What was once a wall of fear is now an open plain of possibility. You've transformed, not by chance, but by relentless action. Like a river, you didn't ask the stone to move, you carved through it. The lesson burns bright, forcing yourself to act, even when every fiber resists, reveals a triumph you never thought possible. What other fears can you shatter with the same resolve? Now imagine a small, cluttered office, papers strewn across a desk, and a calendar marked with red circles, deadlines, debts, doubts. You're a business owner, once paralyzed by the specter of risk. Starting this venture felt like stepping off a cliff, blindfolded, with no guarantee of a net below. Every instinct told you to play it safe, to cling to the familiar shore of a steady paycheck. But a vision burned in you, a need to build something of your own. So, you forced yourself forward. You stayed up late crafting plans, cold called clients with a voice that shook, and invested savings that made your stomach churn. Each decision was a chisel against the stone of uncertainty. Each rejection a crack in your resolve, but you didn't stop. Today, you stand in that same office, now buzzing with life. Your team celebrates a milestone, a contract won, a product launched, a dream made real. The numbers on the screen aren't just figures. They're proof of every forced step, every moment you chose action over fear. The landscape before you is vast and new, a horizon of opportunity carved by your persistence. Like a river, you didn't wait for the stone to yield. You pressed on until it did. The takeaway is undeniable. Forcing yourself to move, even when risk looms like a storm, opens doors to victories you couldn't have imagined. What milestone waits for you on the other side of your next bold step? Pause for a moment. Look back at the path you've traveled. How many times did you feel like the stone would never break? How many nights did you lie awake, wondering if the effort was worth it? Yet, here you are, standing on the edge of a triumph you forged with your own hands. Life is a river, and you are its current. Stone doesn't yield to a single splash. It surrenders to the ceaseless flow, to the quiet, persistent force that refuses to be denied. Your goals are no different. They don't bow to fleeting bursts of inspiration. They crumble under the weight of forced action, day after day, choice after choice. Think of the speaker who once stuttered, now commanding a room. Think of the business owner who once feared loss, now celebrating gain. Their transformation wasn't sudden. It was sculpted by a relentless current of will. So it is with you. Every time you forced yourself to act, when you wrote one more page, made one more call, took one more step, you were cutting deeper into the stone. And now, as the landscape of triumph unfolds before you, you see the truth. The river's power lies not in its roar, but in its refusal to stop. What stone still stands in your way? What new horizon can you carve if you keep flowing? Stand still for a moment and lift your gaze. Beyond this triumph, beyond the landscape you've already conquered, lies another horizon. Can you see it shimmering in the distance? It's not enough to reflect on what you've achieved through forced action. You must dare to imagine what's next. Your journey to achieve your goals is a series of rivers, each cutting through its own stone, each revealing a broader, bolder vista. You've proven to yourself that forcing action transforms you. Now, what greater victories await? Picture your life as a vast canyon, shaped by the currents of your choices. Every forced step has widened the view, deepened the beauty of what you can become. The speaker who conquered the stage might now envision leading a movement. The business owner who defied risk might dream of global impact. And you, what do you see when you close your eyes? A book written, a community built, a legacy forged? The power to achieve lies not in resting on this triumph, but in using it as a stepping stone. The river doesn't stop at the first opening. It flows onward, hungry for more. So must you. What dream lies beyond your current horizon, waiting for you to force your way toward it? When the glow of triumph surrounds you, it's easy to lose focus. You've forced yourself to achieve, and the view is breathtaking, but don't let it blind you. Take a moment to anchor your transformation. Sit down with a journal or a quiet thought. Write 3 things you've learned from forcing yourself to act. Was it patience in the face of slow progress? Courage against towering odds? Name them. See them. Own them. These are your tools, sharper now than ever. Ready for the next challenge. Then turn your gaze forward. Write one goal that lies on the next horizon. Be specific. Don't just say success. Say, I will speak at a national conference, or I will expand my business to a second location. Break it into 3 actionable steps you can force yourself to take this week. Maybe it's researching opportunities, reaching out to a mentor, or drafting a plan. Commit to these steps as you did to the last. When doubt creeps in, and it will, look back at this triumph. Remind yourself, you've carved through stone before. You can do it again. The river of your will is unstoppable. Keep flowing. Triumph is not a resting place. It's a launch pad. You've forced yourself to achieve, and the energy of that victory pulses through you. Harness it now, before it fades. Identify one habit that carried you here. Perhaps it was waking early to work on your craft, or saying yes to uncomfortable opportunities. Double down on it. If you practice speaking for 10 minutes a day, make it 20. If you took 1 risk a month, take 2. Momentum is a river's current. It grows stronger the longer it flows. And when the next stone looms, because it will, don't flinch. Force yourself to act. Even if the first step is small, send that email, make that call, take that class. Remember the speaker's trembling hands turning into a thunderous voice. Remember the business owner's fear melting into celebration. Your past triumphs are proof. Action, forced and fierce, reveals new landscapes. So, stand tall at this horizon of triumph. Pick your next target. Move. The river in you knows no bounds. As you stand here, on the horizon of triumph, let the weight of your transformation sink in. You forced yourself to act when every part of you begged to retreat. You've carved through the stone of doubt, fear, and hesitation, revealing a landscape of victory that once seemed unreachable. Reflect on the speaker who found her voice, the business owner who defied risk. These are mirrors of your own journey. Each forced step, each gritty choice, has shaped you into a force of nature, a river that reshapes the world. The key lesson is clear. Forcing yourself to achieve doesn't just build goals, it builds you. Every triumph is a testament to your power, a reminder that no stone can withstand your relentless flow. But this is not the end. Beyond this horizon lies another, and another after that. The river of your will doesn't rest. It hungers for new challenges, new victories. So take this moment to breathe, to honor what you've done, and then turn your eyes forward. The next section of your journey awaits, a deeper dive into sustaining this force, into making triumph not a fleeting peak, but a way of life. Until then, hold this truth close. Let it be your guide. Keep flowing. Your next landscape awaits.